All right, Balloon Water is making history. It's at 175, and I think that I was a little caught off guard by how fast it's been rising, just because Sea and Sky took so long to rise. Sea and Sky didn't really rise until it went out of rotation. Crown Zero went out of rotation in April. It started rising in the months after that. But 151 is almost pretty much almost the same price as Sea and Sky. Like even though there's less packs in it, it's like it took forever for CN's Guy to reach 175, but I think part of that was also because CN's Guy was so cheaply sourced. Like they were selling it for like less than $3 a pack versus 151. Like they still, um like it was at least a little more expensive. But yeah, you see 16 sold yesterday. These are up $10, and honestly, these are still rising. Just going toward 180, 185, 190 pretty quickly, and there's not a lot of supply in the market. A lot of this is pretty obvious because the price per pack is still good. It's still at 1460, and as I mentioned before, pack prices have been rising so much in the last couple of days. So along with the pack prices rising, like since this is being sold mainly for the packs, it's finally getting the respect it deserves. Usually it doesn't catch up this quickly because usually packs are for some reason worth so much more than some collector items. I mean the main reason I can think about it is just because like rip and shippers, it's an easier time for them even though you get more value from the other thing and like it costs less. Um, but packs are here, and packs are I wrote 1510 yesterday, but these have been rising and they're basically $16 packs now. So if you look at the quantity, there's one here. There's this Japanese that doesn't count. There's 20 here. There's basically less than 30 packs, less than $16. Then you see a little bit of quantity, but not even a lot. I'm gonna go to the next page just to see where we're heading. So I saw 16, actually 80 packs before on the page before last minute, but like yeah, this one over here. Um, then we had to 7. I really don't know what pack price we're going to, but 151 pack prices are getting so expensive right now. I keep talking about the $20 pack mark. We are really approaching that because we do not have enough packs on the market to sustain this. I don't even know where all the packs are. It says 4,000. I don't even know where they're all coming from. Um, I wonder. It might be the. I guess I see Wonder Packs there. Um, but these are at $25 a pack. Is there like someone with like just? Oh yeah, Trading Card World has the 3,400 packs. So aside from that, there's only really 1,000 packs on the market for real, and that's why like this is so like people are buying so many packs that this price is rising so much. And like there's not a lot of 151 product available, so the price kind of stays there. 80 packs sold yesterday. Just seeing if there's any more. So actually, that's 100. That's 100 if you add the 20 packs. 100 packs sold yesterday. So yeah, 151. I don't like. I know like you guys might get tired of me rambling about it, but stuff. But like these like there's so much happening in like this market right now. The booster bundle displays. I've been talking about this. I see it with Paldean Fates, 151, and Prismatic, and these are rising. Someone actually paid 1750 for one, and I remember seeing these when the opportunity was there. When there was a very big gap between like 1500 one and 1900 one, and people are buying these up right now as 151 is getting so expensive. And right now these are $27 a pack, and people are buying it. Before you could get them easily for $24 a pack. Now people are paying $3 more. I don't know, say like this is up $60 and people are buying it more just because it is a really. I used to have one and I sold it early, and I kind of regret it. But yeah, like they're really nice things to have. Like they're gonna be really rare. Like not a lot of people have these. Bleeding War is up 10 over here. You see, maintenance displays are also rising. I'll get to that in a sec. And the bundles are back $100. Um, but yeah, so what is this? This is the maintenance display. This is yeah. So I'll move on. Maintenance displays. I've been talking about this for a while. How the price per pack just makes no sense, and it is a pretty nice product to have. Honestly, right now, I just catch up to price per pack. Packs are basically $16. Price per pack is finally catching up. And yeah, now at 1550. But these are starting to take off. These are starting to take off. You see, demand has doubled. Four sold yesterday, and these are heading toward like $350. Like there's one left at 311, one at 330, and then you see 350s appear. And not a lot of these are listed on the market even. So, um, yeah, I partly wouldn't be surprised if this does like a take and it just reverses. Um, and yeah, I think really the Costco things might have impacted the price quite a bit. Booster bundle is back $100. Sold 16 yesterday. I'm just seeing if the price goes up at all. So rough like $100. So booster bundles they don't really rise as much just because there's no real value aside for the packs in it, and they're mainly just valued because of they're so investable. Like they're small, but other than that, like there's not like some big other alluring thing about them. Plus, they've been reprinted a bunch in the past. UPCs are still pretty stagnant, so you're seeing a lot of the high dollar items not really move as much. A lot of low dollar items are what people are getting to, and so this has been stagnant around 610, 615. No sales sold yesterday. Same thing with the ETB has been stagnant at $400. Three sold yesterday, so demand's been kind of decent, but it just hasn't been able to really get out of this like 400, 410 range. PCTBs as well, like the biggest one of the biggest items ever. Finally, we had a sale yesterday, so maybe the demand will pick up. But still, a lot of people just really trying to sell around $1,000. So these have not picked up yet as well. Poster collections sold two yesterday, two today. I forgot to filter this. But last time I checked, these were basically $15 a pack, except for a couple. $15 a pack is still here. Yeah, like people are not buying these even though they're so cheap over here. But these are basically $50 a pack, so they've already corrected as well. Binders, still 140. Took a break yesterday, but demand has been higher a little bit. But yeah, people aren't going insane over binders. And the Snorlax promo is cover because it's in the ETB. Now it's around $19, so this is still going crazy. But demand is resuming. He's back selling at 46. Alright, Destined Rivals getting super predictable. So right now, technically, I guess it's down a bunch. It's at 365. Nothing to be alarmed about. Prediction that I said yesterday pretty much came true. They're down $25 from yesterday technically. Yesterday they were at 390. But yeah, prices are heading toward the 420 to 430. So there's this one seller. All the Hoppiesville ones, they've been sold or they lead listed. I didn't really check, but they're gone. And everyone else you see after this seller selling really cheap at about 350 plus $14 shipping, 5. It goes back up to 415 straight away. Most sellers are trying to sell at 430, and then it'll probably go even to like 440, 445. The growth, I mean, there's technically a limit to the growth. Like, at a certain dollar point, people find it ridiculous, but it's following the same exact patterns as it did before. What happened is that booster boxes and cases are such a huge difference. Like, even if you use the 420 price, it's still a $55 difference between cases and booster boxes. Cases did go down $10, and then cases have been selling so well, and they did take a break day where there was no sale. So we might see a decline of demand of booster box cases just because the booster boxes themselves are so much cheaper. But we're continuing to see good signs for booster boxes. Like demand is double. With all that being sold, the Destined Rivals is so strong because everyone's talking about it. Demand has been like, before this, booster boxes were only selling like 10, like roughly 10, maybe on lucky days 13 a day, and then there's some random spikes, and then it rose to like 20, and even double that. Like it's roughly about what's selling the last few days, 37 and 36. I know some of that's just the hobbies will being sold, but like sales are actually rising. And then everyone, like, you can see all the sellers like, nope, I know the real value. I'm listing this at like 430 or whatever, 435, 440. And this is exactly what happened last time, where you expect booster box demand to rise as case demand goes down just because of the price difference. More to that, booster bundles finally rise for the first time in a while. They've been pretty stagnant. Somewhere between 4 and 550, they finally rose like $55. So they're up $4, a pretty significant jump from where it usually is, and it makes it 9 total packs a little more acceptable as far as packs go. I saw Nostalgic Nomics video yesterday. He was talking about how like packs are so hard to source. Yeah, probably makes sense. Like this set just came out recently. They couldn't have printed out like so much of it at this point. The prices are so high. Yeah, booster bundles over here. Yeah, 55. And makes me wonder if I should have taken the Destined Rivals booster bundles that was offered. I was kind of hesitant because Destined Rivals is so expensive right now. I prefer cases and booster boxes, but 39 did sell yesterday. And 55 seems pretty stable right now. There's mostly selling at 55. For the PCTBs, PCTBs sold, actually demand is kind of dropping. 2 sold yesterday, 2 sold today. And let's see, Card Father is still there, so this is still going to rise eventually, just hasn't had as much notoriety. I think part of this might also be like people betting on like Pokemon, they're just unable to get booster boxes, and booster boxes are the main thing people want anyway. I'm not really sure, but I guess this is also around the same price of a booster box, so people get that. But there hasn't been the buyout yet. I know there's a price limit, but even with that, like you would think someone would have already bought it by now. And then other ETBs, they're back about 105, 106. These haven't risen as much since they've risen before. Like they went from like 100 to 105. 13 sold yesterday. But I do see 110 in the background over here. And if people find ETBs too expensive, like this is pretty much the same thing, just other color. People will want to collect these eventually if yeah, people will buy these up just for packs, just for whatever. They're going to be valued in many ways. Alright, Crown Zenith PCTPs are trolling me a little bit. So yesterday there's only one box left around, I think it's like 295, or it was like there's only one box left. Now I see that there's two box available at about 490. One of these sellers only has 91% feedback, so maybe that box will stay for a while. They're still basically around $500, but yeah, no sales for 2 days now, as yeah, this kind of retracts a little bit. For loose packs, I'm still seeing the same thing I saw yesterday in a sense that packs are resuming back to pretty much $15. There's not a lot of supply. Only these sellers over here are selling for, this one sells 34 packs at $14. This is one, and then this is like 2 packs, and then you get to $15. So just really good Crown Zenith activity. It's kind of shifted, and sellers are like, hey, I don't want stuff at little as Crown Zenith is going up. So they're kind of being smart, trying to get a little more money out of their stuff. So 16 packs sold yesterday, so not terrible. It's been selling like over 10 packs a day. It's not bad. ETB is still at 235. Demand is picking up, so 4 sold yesterday. It was only selling about 2 per day before that. Still like this is heading toward 240. There's not a lot of supply at that price, but actually a lot of these are like the smaller sellers, and I'm gonna look at what people are actually paying, because sometimes they'll avoid those. Yeah, no super. I see this one sold for 250. Otherwise, nothing super high. For bundles, bundle demand has been kind of pretty good lately. 2 sold yesterday, 1 sold today, but you're just seeing being more consistent like every other day. Bundle demand sometimes is a lot worse. Actually, you see in the 3-month graph, it's like very sporadic. It's like it's pretty good, and then it drops, and it's pretty good. It drops, it's pretty good again now. I'm still noticing there's a good amount of supply around 115. Just 10 more, and we're heading to 120. We keep going toward 120. I think we might finally make it this time. And then CN Sky keeps still around 210. It's at 209 now. 2 sold yesterday, 1 sold today. Yeah, with it catching up with loose packs all of a sudden, and with JM Seekers putting so much, it's now more stagnant now. But definitely hope that you kept it before it kind of rose. It's at 210 right now, and most of the price differences are about the same. Alright, Paldean Fates is back to 110. I think it dropped about $1 for booster bundles. 2 sold yesterday, 2 sold today. Supply is still pretty low at 80. These are still, let's see, are they still heading toward 115? There's a little more supply around 110/111, and 115 seems a little further, but most of the others have like very abysmally small supply. But right now, price is retracting back toward 110. For loose packs are still around 1510. Oh, actually, there's a few more around 1525 now. So there's a little more cheaper supply. I see 8 sold yesterday, 5 sold today. Let's see if any other packs are sold. Yeah, no one's buying the picture listings. It's really interesting. For normally TBs, still selling about 1 per day, and it's just really shocking how stagnant these are. But people are kind of looking away from Paldean Fates right now, and you know it's gonna eventually bounce back, and people are like, and then people are gonna be buying up again. But yeah, no sales for the PCTPs the last 2 days. You know, the mail's picking up, still just struggling. It's so shocking. Like they're struggling to break the next $100 marks, even though they've broken them before. But try and break 300 for this, try and break 500 for this. And then booster bundle displays still have about 1425. Yeah, this demand has pretty much doubled. So 5 sold yesterday, so finally getting a little more booster bundle display demand. And I think people will try to pick these up as Paldean Fates slows down. You know, this has been higher than it was a little before. And there's still a good amount of supply here, but it is starting to dry up. The amount of supply around 1425 and heading toward the 1450s. So I think people are picking this up because there's like 151 is already going up, and Paldean Fates will probably also go up. The price per pack is $5 difference. It's not really that bad. eventually, like if you buy now, if you wait just a month or two, it'll kind of correct itself. All right, Prismatic is really going crazy. You can see that a lot of capsules being deployed, and honestly, this feels like a lot like 151. I know I've been saying that the pattern's the same, but now that I'm actually in it, it feels similar. And a lot of this started, a lot of this started taking off a little more. Like obviously, there's been slow buyouts, but I know the other day the SBC went to about $300. I remember when 151 suddenly started going parabolic a little more was when the Charizard just suddenly started selling for a lot, and then the UPC went up a lot. Like it went from like $100 to like $200 all of a sudden. Um, and you're just seeing a lot more things. So for like ETB cases over here, demand is crazy now. So it's selling every day, selling about 3 or more cases a day, and we're heading toward $2,000 cases. There will probably be a little price a bunch up in between, but like cases, the price of cases has been rising a lot the last few days. Like they were very steady around like let's say roughly 1,300, a little more, a little less. Now they're at like 1,600, up $300 in just like a few days. Um, it's really easy to do the price of cases because you just move the decimal over. So this is $160 at ETB, which makes sense because ETBs have been rising. ETBs are 125 now. Um, but also, like, there's not like a lot of listings. There's only until three listings until $2,000. And it'll probably hover around here for now, somewhere around here. But yeah, people keep buying these up because like they are have premium. Like 150, I haven't checked the 151 cases in a while, but I'm sure like they're up a lot. Prismatic ETBs, yeah, sold 50 yesterday, so the man is actually getting better. It actually usually only sells like 25, 35, so that's like quite a bit more. And like this is heading straight toward 130 again. And for a lot of products, you're just seeing them like surpass. Like there's been a lot of like prismatic like crashes. Um, or let's see, the high of prismatic ETBs was around one. Like this was pre-release, so pre-release was 150, and then like post-release was around 140. So we are heading back toward where prismatic was before. And we already saw this happen with the PCTB. Like a lot of these price, like if you held this long, your prismatic is actually climbing back way up. Um, the EV promo is also responsible for this because this has been sold. So just people are seeing what happened to 151. Everyone knows that Prismatic's so cheap now. And yeah, this is selling like more than the Snorlax promo. It's selling like 75 to 100 per day. A lot of days. Snorlax promo isn't selling as much, and the price is still around $13, but it's steadily rising. And this is sourced from the ETB, so there's only so many of them. Number of packs sold, a huge amount of packs sold. So it says 486 for here for Prismatic, and when I actually added it up, the number of packs sold was actually 673. So pretty much 675 packs sold, almost 700 if you add it all up, because like a lot of these aren't counted over here. But you see just a lot of this sales like 69, 22, 60, 34, 72, 70. Like just a lot of packs sold, and pack prices are basically back at $9. Like there's a little bit, like there's 56 at 850. These don't have like this is Korean, so that doesn't count. And then this is like 14 over here. But pack prices are going back up. So like this is a really fast recovery for Prismatic. It's really quite jarring. And then the PCTBs have broken 400. Sold 3 yesterday. I don't remember if it broke 400 before, but it's been around 400 for a while. So these are rising again. These are gonna rise. 410 going 415. Everyone already knows all the products that are to make play that could be possible plays because 151 follow the pattern. ETBs are super expensive for 151. Price per pack analysis, they're at $14 now. UPCs did really good. Right now the SPCs have already gone up a bit, so they're quite expensive at $20 a pack. Versus like bundles are still like $10 a pack. No, there's double now. Tin displays are still quite cheap. I had someone comments asking if they should switch out their tin displays. It's just like historically, like I'm finally seeing the 151 tin display rise, but it's taking like this long to kind of catch up. And one of the main reasons is just because the price per pack is just matching. Like, for 151 mini tin displays, I think the price per pack is like $15 now. Loose pack's about $15, so it's just like it has to go up. But they're being treated like loose packs at the moment, but versus other things have already done their gains. PCTBs have always been high, but yeah, finally breaks to 410. And then the Lucario boxes are kind of dropping. Their price is kind of like it's stagnant, but they're not really rising as much because Blue and Waters didn't rise that much for a while. Now it's really expensive, but that's because everything else is super expensive. That's why like the other things are kind of a better hold longer term. They'll rise a little better. Um, so yeah, a ton of packs are sold. PCTB is rising. Yeah, bundles are rising. 132. You're just seeing hundreds of bundles sold, like 100, at least 100 plus 100 bundles sold every day. So people know get bundles. People like bundles. They're heading towards $61. Don't hold your breath on these. They also rise kind of slow, but like they're not usually as bad as like the Sea and Sky or a Blue Wars or whatever. Um, SPCs. Demand's actually been kind of rising ever since they rose. Like it's been selling like roughly like eight plus a day. Before that, demand was kind of lower. Price. There's a lot of price bunch up because it's already risen a lot. So the opportunity isn't fully in the species. Like it's not necessarily the obvious play. Like it'll go up, but you'd have to like do your estimates of like how much is it going to rise compared to the price right now. Already some of the lost opportunity was already lost. Um, and then these bundle displays keep selling. You see, like people are actually buying these now. Like I'm seeing this 151 with Paldean and Prismatic, and so I'm not really sure where these will go because they're kind of a different beast a little bit because they're a later set. But yeah, these keep popping around 1500, 1700, 1800. Maintain displays. I said like yeah, five sold yesterday. So demand is kind of rising for these, um, and it kind of will take kind of a buyout because right now specifically all the Costco bundles have those maintenance, so they're being devalued now. Um, but yeah, it's also because cost for 151 they also created like the Costco 151 tins, so it's part of the design maintenance in the space are not as expensive. And then yeah, Lucario box is down to 110. Yeah, demand actually dropped a little bit. It went to like the 40, like close to 40. Now it's back to 20. And you know, the price is around 110, 115, but this is mostly just something to open right now, not really to hold long term because there's better things. All right, Mega Evolution maintains price of 300 at least for the enhanced booster box. And we're seeing just the effects of pre-release. So demand has dropped down from about, let's say, 80 to 100 down to 66. Not the best sign in the world. Though usually these things do drop a release. There's only like a couple of sellers selling at 300. They go to 303. Although like I've seen this happen before, it doesn't necessarily mean the price will rise. Um, but yeah, we're starting to see demand slow down a little bit. Usually it does slow down a little bit right before release. We're about 6 days away, and yeah, 300 might be about the peak that it goes to be honest. And then it'll have release. It'll probably go up and down. Um, but usually this probably is kind of high. Do not buy at $300 most likely. Um, the other booster box is selling at 44. So actually, demand is still like $100 per day, so it's still pretty good. 20 so yesterday, and people are buying this probably because it's just cheap. There's a couple of sellers until it reaches 300. But yeah, maybe it'll go a little bit above 300 actually. Since it's technically selling about 100 boxes per day, with the two boxes combined. Honestly, I mentioned this in my booster box video that I posted earlier, but like the minimum price of any booster box right now is about 260 as of today, except for Scarava base and Journey Together. So it kind of puts a floor on things. Like if you think Mega Evolution is better than Scarava base and Journey Together, then it's probably going to go above 260 longer term, especially with this case where like there's only 60% of the supply being distributed. I think ETBs are even being delayed or something. 63 of this sold yesterday. I know the Lucario one's more popular, but the price point's about the same. For PCTBs, sold one yesterday. The man card dropped a little bit, but there are a few more sellers available now. Booster bundles actually went up stupidly, but yeah, there was a bunch of, it actually doubled in demand. So people are buying booster bundles because probably because they're just cheap. If you're just buying one, actually I need to see the quantities of this. If you're just buying one, fine. If you're buying 5 booster bundles, what are you doing? Why are you buying 5 booster bundles? Wait, actually no, that was at $40. Okay, so that's a good amount lower. So the people who are buying the $40 ones, okay, fine. If you're buying more than like 2 or 3 booster bundles at like normal price, like what are you doing? Like this person over here, like it's about the same price as a booster box. Just get the fruit booster box. These things are definitely gonna go down at release. And then the cases are still around the same price, 1628. Case demand is still pretty decent. 2 sold yesterday, 4 sold today. Yeah, I don't know. The prices for cases don't usually go up, just because people are just desperate to sell them to get capital. But it's still about, at the $300 price, it's still like $29, $30 discount. The other price is about $10, but this is heading toward $300. All right, giant scare is still being targeted, so cases are still being bought up. So this is one of the biggest indicators of demand or prices rising. We all know that giant scare is an opportunity because of the price. It's just so much cheaper than everything else. It's not like a terrible set. It's just not as valued, and it's totally overshadowed. Like think about all the sets that are surrounding it: Surging Sparks, Prismatic, and Destined Rivals. Those are all the sets like that were around it. Like why would you buy a Journey together compared to that? Why would you be interested in Journey together? But two sold yesterday, one sold today. So these are cases. So this kind of demand is great. You're actually seeing it's much more higher than it was before. It was sporadically sell one, and I think the cases did technically go down like $1. RJ Briggs has its last box case available. They probably have a lot more. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. But there's always like this struggle to break to like 1525 or 1600 over here. It kind of depends how much people list. But at this rate, if it does sell two per day, they will sell out. Cases are selling at like 247 a booster box, which is still pretty cheap for a case. Even every other booster box, loose booster box, is selling more than 247. Even Scarva base selling at 250, so it's still extremely cheap. For the loose boxes, they're still around 240. There's not that much of a premium for cases to booster boxes. Also, another reason why cases will be bought up. Once cases get super expensive, people will go after the booster boxes as well. Five sold yesterday, two sold today. But there's not as much. Actually, I am starting to see 245 now, so we are finally starting to see 245 for booster boxes. So yeah, with that sort of difference, it's like you should just buy the case if you're interested in making this play. And I do see a sale for about 250 over here, some 245 sales. So it's already climbing up toward there. If you've been paying attention to Surging Sparks recently, you do know that Surging Sparks booster box cases were cheaper per box, and they've shifted. There's always a shift. Everyone always is aware of the shifts. So that's why cases are such a good thing to get early on. For booster boxes, the other booster box sold 700, which went up. Only two sold yesterday. It's back up to about 248. So it's good that there's another booster box selling for quite a bit. I don't really know what the deal is with this enhanced, non-enhanced thing. I mean, I know that I know it's different, but like listing wise, it's not really making much of a difference anymore. It used to make a little bit more of a difference. PCTBs, the manage dropped to only about one per day. But there's only one until 205 and 210 and 215, so there is a good price ladder for this to rise. Another case, just don't expect any sales for this unless people list more. It's just ridiculously overpriced. All right, Black Bull White Flood Lemand. So PCTBs are still hovering around 250. They're at 253 now. I still think these have a good amount of potential, but yeah, zero sold yesterday, so they did take a break. They are starting to hover around 265, 260. Growth is definitely starting to slow down. The white flare ones dropped back down to 210, so zero also sold yesterday. So yeah, these have really taken a break. These were at like 224 yesterday, but now some cheaper sellers appeared. Honestly, might not be the worst time to pick up some white flare PCTBs if they're still kind of lagging behind. Long term, it does seem like Black Bolt will do a little better. Black Bolt ETB still hovering just below $90, so they're at 88. So they've been struggling to really keep maintaining that $90 point. 15 sold yesterday. Demand's been kind of normal, steady-ish. Booster bundles, they're about $51 to $52. The bundle demand rose back up, so it's good. Bundle demand was dropping a lot. Now it's back to 54. So that will help maintain bundle prices. Now I'm starting to really see like the $54 prices, $55 prices. So these still have a lot of potential to rise. White Flare ETBs, they're at 81. Just like, with Black Bolt being only like $88, it's only like a $7 difference between the ETBs. 14 sold yesterday. And demand is still, kind of steady, but they're both selling about the same rate. White Flare bundles dropped to about 47 yesterday. Demand did not pick up, so these are still kind of dropping steadily into like the 20s or less. All right, Final Fantasy keeps dropping, so it's now below 1200, just like about 80 cents less. But this brings the pack price to just under $100 per pack and $99.98. So yeah, we're still continuing to see declines of this. Demand is, I mentioned yesterday how demand used to be like in the double digits, like just barely like 10 to 15, and now it's definitely back in single digits now. So demand has definitely fallen off quite a bit. It's selling like at best 3 to 8 per day. some of the days, and there's a little bit of bunch up even at like 1200. So people want to get rid of this box right now as it drops. So people are trying to lock in their gains or whatever. Probably, if it's dropping, like honestly, some people would probably want to deploy the capital somewhere else. Um, and for cases, yeah, still seeing that case from yesterday, still really cheap at about 7,900. And yeah, I don't know how cheap these would be. It'd be great if you could find someone who like did like a local deal. Then you have to pay like all the taxes on this and all that. But yeah, these are 110 per pack and still like dropping quite a bit. Playbox cases are down 5. Get bundles are down $5. They're back at $200. Packs are still maintaining their price points. So pack demand still selling about. Sometimes it goes to double digits. Sometimes it goes to single digits, about 6 to 8. Still not bad. No, before they were also in double digits. Now they're heading toward like higher single digits, but the pack price is still around the same. Um, yeah, these LGSs, they have their minimum price of 123, 125. They're not trying to crash the market per se. So this has been pretty steady. This is one of the most important things. If these drop, then of course everything else needs to drop, unless we do a reversal where the boxes are going to be worth more than the packs. For mega packs, we sold 4 yesterday, and yeah, the price has been pretty steady around 135. Japanese still around 690. We see that zero sold yesterday, so demand has unfortunately dropped for Japanese quite a bit. It was selling like every day, and usually at least 2 per day, but now it's not even selling every day, barely selling 1. So yeah, still struggling to break $700. Really at this point, um, yeah, the English ones I still think are probably a better buy. Play boxes sold 15 yesterday, so demand of these has also been kind of dropping. They were selling 20 30 per day. Now they're in like below 20, like 10 to 15. So you're seeing just demand drop all around. Prices of these have been pretty stagnant. Cases have 9 in the market. They're always just maintaining like 8 to 10 cases, 7 to 10 cases a day. Sold 0 yesterday. Price is still, it's dropping now back to 1465. Honestly, it might keep dropping as all the Final Fantasy um, gets dropped or drops in price. And the gift bundles are 200 now, 7 so yesterday. These things are pretty resilient. They're now starting to be a little more consistently around 200. I see a lot of 202s, but these keep going back up for some reason. Spiderman boxes, I saw 641. I was like, wow, that's a big drop. We saw 100 boxes yesterday, which is a pretty good number. Just as one seller selling for 640. Then you see most other sellers trying to sell for 667. Pretty fine price for a Spider-Man collector. And then for play boxes, they demand doubled to like 200 something, 230. It's been usually like 50 to 80 per day. Price is still very stable. Just so many more play boxes printed, so it makes sense. But yeah, there's been a lot of sales for this. That wraps things up for this video. I hope you walked away with a better understanding of the market. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more deep dives in the Pokemon market. Tell me what's the next big investment you're considering in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all later.